just tell us a little bit about your story and like what you've been through and your recovery.
Why are you looking at me? It's your story.
I got into drugs in high school and I dropped out, and my family tried to help me but for like years, but I didn't really want help. I went in and out of treatment and I struggled, but I'm clean now, so.
Here's my feeling is I feel like what we run into a lot is not my kid. And she was the not my kid. I mean, she hated drugs. She was an A student. She was, everything looked perfect. But we run into that all the time is that people think, oh, that's because, they had a horrible home, or she has a great home, she's went to a good school. There just wasn't any of that. It was childhood trauma that hadn't come out. People need to understand that it can happen in their family. It doesn't matter how good of, get choked up. It doesn't matter if you're a good parent. You think, I live in a good neighborhood. They did, and it can happen to anybody. So we need to stop the stigma and the shaming families and keeping them quiet. We were quiet for a long time until she disappeared and we had to go public. So, people need to be able to talk about it. Our kids are dying. It's as simple as that. Our kids are dying.
Oh.
Yeah, and to be told, it's like, what insurance do you have? Public or state, private? And that's two completely different roads, which is so frustrating. And we would, just finding a bed. There was, at the time she was a youth, there was one youth facility for detox, and the beds were always full. To just take away the barriers. We just have to take away the barriers, the stigma of the barriers.
I hear too many stories from families like Kassiah's. That's why I convened the Opioid Task Force. We're developing policies for prevention and education, ensuring access to treatment, and delivering the right services at the right time. We need to provide resources and knock down barriers. When someone suffering from addiction raises their hand and says, "I'm ready for help," we need to get it to them. That's why I'm running for re-election.
Paid for by Friends of Derek Young.